night, heart of South Philly. Let's go see what the people have got to say. I'm ready to roll if they need me.
Now listen here, Dutch. The Mets and the Cowboys, they suck.
1, 2, 3, go Birds! Go Birds! Here we go, 302BIRDS, Gino Stinks. Go Birds!
Get your water ice and soft pretzels ready because you are now tuned into a 302BIRDS podcast experience. Proudly presented by TickPick, Nick's Pizza, El Diablo Burritos, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street. Let's take it to the show.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of 302BIRDS. Appreciate you for joining us. We got another jam-packed episode. Got a lot on tap for you guys. We got Fitzy backstage. He's getting ready to call in. We're going to be talking about the Phillies' ups and downs. We're going to be talking about road tripping, Phillies' dilemma, the Wells Fargo Center, which is now called the Xfinity Arena, and why AJ McCoy was right and it should have been called the Wawa Center, the cornerback battle. We got a lot on tap for you guys, so stay tuned. Is there a background noise?
I heard some motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm sitting on my porch and some Yahoo's flying down the road.
I was worried it was me. All good. Now I know it's a motorcycle. It's coming and it's going. It's all good. So Joey's over there, guys. He's wrangling up Cowboys fans on the road. Just, here
he
knocking
comes.
them up and
just about to fly by.
Appreciate you. But let's go ahead and take it to our call-ins.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302BIRDS sent you. God bless, go Birds.
Like I said, if you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos. Tonight we got a fan favorite.
Go! We are the champions, my friends. All right, enough of that. It's time to get it popping. Then they did that, saw that. Let's repeat it. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
I'm doing well. It's great to see you, buddy. We haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're on the show tonight. What do you got for us?
All right, man. I got a two-part question for you, right? With this part of the offseason done, what do you think was the biggest story out of the offseason? And what do you think will be the biggest story coming out of the offseason during training camp?
KJ, you take it first.
All right, so biggest story. All right, let me think. So what biggest story of the whole offseason you think so far, or just?
Yes, sir.
I would say so far, I mean, I'd probably go with probably getting Dallas Goedert. I mean, we just signed him back today, and I mean, I thought for sure that he was going to I thought we were going to trade him or something, but I kind of realized too that we didn't draft the tight end, so that kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe they are going to restructure his contract. So I think that's probably the biggest move. But I mean, besides that, I mean, there hasn't been really anything else. I mean, I'd probably say our draftees that we just got, like Jahad Campbell. I think that was a huge draft for us. I mean, that was such a steal to get a guy like him, a linebacker in the first round. So that was awesome. And then I guess for the up and coming, I guess, really to see who makes the roster. I mean, to see really we were talking about it too, like the cornerback battle. I think that's going to be really interesting with Kaylee Ringo, and I believe Is it McDaniels? I think it is, or it's
Mac McWilliams or something. But quick question: do you really want Kelly Ringo going up against George Pickens?
That's a good question. I mean, I think he could guard him. I think he can.
Okay.
I think he can. I think so.
I think
Cooper DeJean can too. I feel like so. I mean, I feel like Coop can probably get him as well.
The biggest thing
yeah, that's the better move.
Yeah, because you got Coop and Quignon. I mean, they're already two guys that they're young. I mean, obviously they're coming off their rookie years and now they're sophomores.
Coop got a pick six at the Super Bowl on his first
pick is the pick
How cool is he?
Against Mahomes. I mean, you can't get any better than that. So I'm confident in those boys. I'm very confident in those two guys, and I mean, I'm rolling with them.
Biggest shock to me in the offseason is that we got rid of Britton Covey. I think that was a surprise because that kind of came out of nowhere. And Britton Covey has probably one of the better receiving punt returners we've had the past couple seasons. And to see him
do you know that he probably has an extra life insurance policy for when he catches the ball? They say that, but you just don't see that with Covey.
But the thing is, we didn't use him as a receiving, we didn't use him as a receiver. We used him as a punt returner. And seeing him go, he was our most productive punt returner. Cooper DeJean kind of got in there towards the end of the season. But to see him go,
Covey reminds me of Reno Mahe. And I used to always be so scared when he had the ball.
Yeah.
But he never fumbled it. He would always hold on to that ball. He was tackling dummy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Covey actually had one fumble. I think he had one.
Maybe that. But other than that,
he never had a touchdown. I know that.
Yeah, you're right. He never had a touchdown.
Yeah.
When Covey gets the ball, it'd be like, may the odds be forever in your favor. I'd be so scared for him, man.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does in the offseason or at the Rams. But yeah, I mean, I think signing Dallas Goedert to extending for another year, I think it was a good move. I mean, I was afraid that we were going to get rid of him. He's one of our better tight ends. Calcaterra, he'll come to his own, but to see Dallas Goedert back on this team makes me happy.
Just got to stay healthy.
Joey, what do you think?
So I would say the thing that shocked me the most, this offseason, was really trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I mean, now that it's passed, it's kind of it is what it is. We drafted Makuba, all that. But yeah, when you really think about it, we lost him after 22. Our defense went down the drain. So in that sense, it's is this really the right move? Is this what we should be doing? But at the same time, he's ran his mouth nonstop since, and it's well, okay, I get it. So it's a win or lose. But I think honestly later on in the offseason, I think that's something that we're gonna see is somebody a name like Justin Simmons, a veteran safety. I think they're gonna bring somebody in and they'll either compete for the starting spot or they'll be given the starting spot just because I don't think they really fully trust Sidney Brown as a starting safety just quite yet, just because of his injury and everything, and they still probably want to ramp him up a little bit more. And then Makuba's a rookie, so they're probably not gonna send him right out there game one. You're the starting safety, man. I just don't see that happening. So I think the biggest off-season move yet to come is gonna be some type of veteran safety or something like that.
Okay, I see how y'all thinking out there. For me, the biggest was the CJGJ move. That was the biggest shock to me because we get him, go to the Super Bowl. You gone, never go to the Super Bowl. Get him back, we won the Super Bowl. But I'm interested to see that. I want to see what Makuba is talking about. Kind of want to see what Sidney Brown talking about too, because I don't think it's a soft bone in Sidney Brown, so I think it's going to be a competition. The only way Sidney Brown will lose that is coverage. Let's even working on that on the off season. Let's see. Let's see how it shakes up when he get hot.
Yeah, let's see. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a really interesting offseason. I mean, obviously, yeah, the CJ Gardner-Johnson, trade was insane. I know Dalton was actually happy about it for some weird reason.
Dalton was the only person happy about it.
Yeah, that's one thing, Fitz. Yeah, Fitz, get this. Dalton was happy about it, and he was jumping in joy and everything. He was like, "See you later, CJ." And we're like,
Dalton was hype
why
about
he was throwing CJ out?
But in his defense, he did call like all like the like dumb stuff that CJ was gonna do, like running his mouth, like. And I'll give that to Dalt. Dalt was like, "This is why they got rid of him." And I at first I was like, "Dalt, you don't know what you're talking about." But now that like a couple months ago by, yeah, Dalt knew what he was talking about.
Because history repeats itself, my friend.
My man's in my town, man.
I'm not a genius. There's nothing special about me. It's just, unfortunately, in life, history repeats itself. I had a really awesome history teacher in high school that Jack had as well. Shout out to Mr. McGowan. And he used to say, "Gentlemen, history repeats itself." And he was always so right. And the older I get, the more I realize he's right. And the only reason I knew that, Joey, is because what happened last time TJGJ left? He shit on us. He shit on Philadelphia. And he ended up going to Detroit and doing nothing. Came back. I'm glad he got a ring out of it. It was awesome. But that's the thing about CJGJ that I don't like, is there is no just being friends with someone. It's either the bridge is burnt or you're his best friend. You know what I mean? Like, there's no in between, which is good and bad. But unfortunately, in business, sometimes you got to just be able to be like, "Hey, all right, that's cool," and walk away. Not, you know what I mean? Like, fuck you, and like blow up the whole thing on your way out.
You gotta take your loss and keep it moving.
Yeah. And I love CJ. I think he's a great player on the field. Don't get me wrong. He's the second best ball hawk in the NFL statistically last year. You can look that up. But the problem with CJGJ is his attitude. It's the mental. He does like AB type of things, like Antonio Brown type of activities.
Ooh, yeah.
Comparison, but when he does dumb shit on Twitter like that, that's what I mean. Like, when players do that stuff, that really pisses me off, because that doesn't just mess with the organization's reputation, that messes with the locker room's chemistry. And that's where I start to have an issue with it. But Fitz, let me ask you something too on your way out. Do you have any expectations for Saquon Barkley next year? That's one of our questions of the night. It's going to be really hard to top what he did last year, but what are your expectations for Saquon next year?
I don't expect this season that just passed. I expect maybe 1,100 yards, and I don't even think it's because it's going to be a Super Bowl hangover or a decline in Saquon. It's just that teams is going to be super geared up to stop Saquon like Kansas City did, and now we got to explore other options of our team. My Saquon Barkley. I want him to make me wrong, but yeah, maybe 1,100 yards. Maybe I'll give him about 400 receiving yards, total touchdowns, maybe 12 touchdowns. Yeah, that's the kind of season I think I'm gonna get from Saquon Barkley. And before I like to go, I like to give a shout out to my girl Jen, you both. My guys, can I get a one last time, please?
Fitz, thank you, man. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.
If you guys don't, please give our guy Fitzy a follow. He's been literally rocking with us from the start. I wish that your guy Fitz, 10 Toes Down Tommy, was here so we could make fun of him and have some love with him. But he's busy doing people's taxes and stuff. Hopefully soon he'll be around. But speaking of Ballpark Tommy, time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Finger stitch. All right, so I had the vision the other day. When Tom comes back, I think that this team is going to kick it in gear. I really do. When Ballpark Tommy comes back on this podcast, He's going to be the fuel and the fire that the Philadelphia Phillies need. Why? Because the Phillies watch this podcast every time before they play. Of course, they're going to listen to Coach Ballpark Tommy. Seriously. I looked at the stats the other day. Batting, win to loss, everything, stolen bases. The Phillies are a great team right now. They're a top 3 team in the MLB, in my opinion. But in our opinion, we still feel like it's not enough. And that's kind of interesting to me. Is it the old dilemma of Philadelphia fans that just kind of sit there and it's like, well, at least we're winning, right? Or is it we're too hard on our team and it's the other Philly dilemma, which is Philadelphia fans are too much. Philadelphia fans are too critical. The team has won 4 out of their last 5 series. What's your problem? Chill out. Like that's good baseball. That's a great baseball team. The problem is they got swept by the Mets in that 5th series and what they did the month before. Statistically, since April 21st, April 19th, April 20th, Trey Turner's been on fire. He's really turned it around. Kyle Schwarber, I don't have to speak for. So what is the problem with the Phillies, gentlemen? I mean, KJ, I know you're a big Phillies expert. What's your thoughts?
Bullpen. It's the bullpen. That's the main thing. And we were talking about this, I believe, at the beginning of the season. Someone was asking, what's going to really screw us up if we do have problems or if there is a problem that's going on with the team? And someone was like, will it be hitting? Will it be bullpen pitching? I said pitching. It definitely is pitching. It still is. It's the main thing. I mean, the good thing is right now, currently we are up 6-0 against the Rays at the Yankees spring training facility. I mean, the spring training field they have, because the Rays stadium got destroyed in a storm. So that's why they're playing there. But yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, they're playing great. And I know there's a lot of trade rumors going around about us getting some pitchers or us getting some other players as well. But I think the trade deadline's coming up. Like, when is it coming up, Havens? It's like a couple months. I think it's.
I'm not sure. I think it's the end of June.
All right, end of June. Yeah, so
like end of June, mid-July.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
All right, so end of June. Okay, around that. I mean, if Ballpark was here, he would probably be like, "No, KJ, it's in July, okay, but it's in July." So he probably would have said that. But yeah, I think this team, the main thing is the bullpen, and it just really stresses out a lot of people, including myself. I mean, there's some times where we've just blown leads, and it's really because of the bullpen. One of the big culprits is this guy by the name of Romano, and he honestly pitches like he's Ray Romano, but his name is Jordan Romano. So, yeah, it's like having Ray Romano out there, the freaking mammoth from Ice Age, the voice of the mammoth. So it's that's how bad he is, dude. He just sucks, and it's just like it's annoying with this team. But hey, you know what? If we can get these little wins one by one, I think it'll be fine. But I mean, then the postseason comes, and that's where you start biting your nails, and in Tommy's case, starts biting his knuckles. So yeah.
Joey, what are your thoughts on this team?
They're definitely improving, but yeah. There's still a lot they've got to fix if they want to even be considered any type of, at least in my opinion, if they want to be considered any type of contender or anything like that. Obviously, like KJ said, their bullpen is horrible. Orion Kerkering, I feel like it was either the World Series year he started in the bullpen or the year after. And I feel like he's just progressively gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. The only person you can count on this bullpen is Jose Alvarado, and that's only 8 out of 10 times because the other 2, he throws a fastball at 100 down the middle and they smoke it to opposite right field or left field or whatever. And yeah, so you gotta Dave's not gonna do it, but you've gotta completely change some stuff up. And he's just shown that he'll make a trade or 2, but that's about it. And then offensively, it's starting to get warm, like everybody was saying at the beginning of the year. Yeah, once it gets warm, they're going to start hitting, and that's exactly what they're doing. I'd like to say this out loud so everybody can hear me. at the beginning of the year. Alec Boehm was not my. I was probably the number one hater of Alec Boehm. Yesterday, got his first home run finally, but I've been paying attention. He's been getting on base a lot more lately, and if we can cut out hitting it the double plays and we can keep getting on base, hit a couple more home runs and stuff, might come back around to him. He's starting to get in my good graces just a tiny bit, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, Bryce Harper needs to stop trying to be a hero every time he goes to the plate. It's like he's swinging for the fences or striking out, and that's it. And other than that, Turner doing what we're paying you to do. Good job. Keep doing it. Schwarber, I love you, dude. You're the only reason we're you're really like the only reason we're doing half as good as we are, because it's like every other night it's Schwarber hit one, Schwarber hit another one. Leading the MLB in home runs, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think Bryce Harper needs to be a leader out there. He is the leader for this team, and it all starts with his bat. He's making good defensive plays on base, but he hasn't really been hitting that well. And I feel like 3 or 4 years ago, we had a different Bryce Harper. I don't know if it's age or something, but we could rely on Bryce Harper. Whereas now we have to rely on, Schwarber. We got to rely on every once in a while. Got to rely on Bryson Stott, things of that nature. So I think Bryce Harper needs to step it up and actually show the Philly organization that he is the true leader. That it all starts with him, and once we get that squared away, I think everything will come in turn. But it all starts with Bryce Harper. So that's kind of my biggest takeaway is Bryce Harper needs to do something out there.
Well, I will tell you one thing, Jack. He actually has done something today. He actually has 2 RBIs already. So,
there you go.
Pretty good.
There you go.
The only homer from it is 6-0 Phils, but the only homer is actually Trey Turner. Trey Turner got a homer. So, it is in a minor league baseball park. That's the one thing. And that's what, people were freaking out about Alec Boehm getting a homer yesterday. I was like, chill the brakes, kind of chill out, because it is a minor league baseball stadium. So it is a smaller stadium, and it's easier to hit home runs.
Would it have been a home run in Yankee Stadium?
No, probably not.
No. I don't think so.
I thought somebody last night said it like it would have been. So if that's the case, Aaron Judge gets to do it. We can let Boehm slide once.
Yeah, that's true. I still gotta be on a close eye with him, though. I definitely do.
Yeah.
What do you got, Dole?
Sweet. So moving on now to our next segment.
You are now listening to KJ's Court Sixers Talk presented by the Sleeper app.
All right, Matt.
In a while.
Break the news.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's technically KJ's Court and KJ's Rink, I guess you can say as well, and also field, because the Wings play there as well. So yeah, no more Wells Fargo Center, guys. No more. It's not the center anymore. We had the Wachovia Center before. We had the First Union Center before. And now the era of the center is gone. It's now the arena. And now this makes it so much more confusing. Here's the reason why. You have live casino. And people call it live. They'll be like, yo, let's go to live. You have Xfinity Live. Some people say, yo, let's go to live. And then you get confused. You're like, wait, which one? Live casino or Xfinity Live? Now you have Xfinity Mobile Center. Now when you say, hey, let's go to Xfinity, you're going to be like, which one? The mobile center or Xfinity Live? They are trying to confuse us even more and make us go freaking crazy and in circles and everything. Like we're like one of those dogs that's trying to chase their tail and they can't get the goddamn tail. That's what it's like. So I'm not a fan of this. We all wanted the freaking Wawa Center. Wawa Center. Yes, correct. But no. Comcast, Spectacur, Xfinity, whatever it is, had to ruin that for us and just piss on our dreams, everybody. How about it? Great job.
That was said like a real Irishman right there. That really was. Joe, I just muted you. That's me doing that because you get like a weird echo. So just when you're talking and not talking, just mute. It'll be better. But this was the end of an era, my friends. I wish I had some sad music to cue up during the show because thank you, KJ. I appreciate the musical accompaniment. But something that really could play back all the memories of 0 championships, mediocrity, and a lot of Chickies and Pete's crab fries consumed. That is the one good thing about this arena. So my hope for the new, hence why I have on the purple shirt tonight, Xfinity Mobile Arena, is that this place will be more successful for the Sixers and the Flyers. Dare I say, we might see playoff Flyers hockey in this stadium. And like the Flyers actually go deep. They're in a new era. They're in a new franchise. The Sixers, yeah, they're inevitably screwed. They're like the Cowboys of the NBA in a way, with ownership really holding them back. Josh Harris holds the Sixers back like Jerry Jones holds back the Cowboys. If I was other teams around the NBA, be sending us Christmas cards. But all in all, rest in peace to Wells Fargo. Like KJ said, there were a lot of other names. I mean, not just the Wells Fargo Center, but I think
Wachovia.
What'd you guys say? So what was
Wachovia and First Union Center, I believe.
Well, that's what it used to be. I'm saying I would have loved the I Hate Steven Stinger Stadium. Or, you know what I mean? Something really different that was
Wawa.
Philly. Wawa's a great example as well. But something that really is Turkey Hill would have been a great candidate as well. Something that just as soon as you heard it, you're like, that's
Chicky and Pete's.
That would have been great as well. I mean, the thing is,
You would have loved that.
I would have loved it. But I would have offered to donate some money towards that. Not a lot. I'm broke, but like 10 or 20 bucks. That's not going to go very far. My question too is, what do you realistically think that costs for that partnership? That's got to be in the tens of millions, right? Like for that deal, that long term. It's a 10-year deal, right? I mean, Joe, what are your thoughts on it?
Doesn't Comcast own all of that stuff or something?
Yeah,
so they probably
they
got
do. They own a monopoly of it.
Yeah, like they're all tied in together. They're just making themselves more money. But picture this, right? It's a nice playoff hockey's about now. So yeah, it's a warm May evening. Okay, you stop by Wawa, grab yourself a hoagie. The Flyers are playing the Rangers, Game 7. Okay, it's the first round of the playoffs. You walk up to the Wawa Hoagie Center, go in, and you watch Matvei Michkov get a hat trick and send the Rangers packing. Who's going to say, yeah, I went to the Xfinity Mobile Center or Arena and I watched the Flyers win Game 7? No. What is that? What? We could have done the Hers Center. We could have done the Wawa Center. We could have done so much better than Xfinity Mobile Arena. That just feels like one of those big the Staples Center, even the Superdome down in New Orleans that got renamed to something new. It's just you're just taking the fun out of the names, and it's I don't know. The Wells Fargo Center could have stayed instead of the Xfinity Mobile Arena, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't like it at all. But I still go to games and stuff like that. I'll still support them, but I don't like the name anymore.
No, Dole, I will ask you one more question, though. Does this mean that we have to have Xfinity Mobile if we go in there? Do we have to have it? Is it required? We have to have
bet. I will say, and then we're going to kick it to Jack.
Wi-Fi is going to suck if we don't have it.
AJ. I'm going to say this, going out on a limb. That's a great question, number one. Number two, there's going to be an Xfinity Mobile Lounge. So you know how the Eagles have that TickPick lounge now where the people who buy their tickets through TickPick get that private access bar, all those things, all those perks. I think that's becoming more and more of a thing in all of business. You see it on airlines. You're going to see that, I think, in this stadium where if you're freaking Jack Thornton, you might get access to a bar early or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to have access to all of it, baby. I got Xfinity Mobile already rocking right now. I think it's a stupid name, personally. I think that they could have done so much better that is meaningful to the city of Philadelphia rather than Xfinity Mobile Arena. But My only hope is with the name change of the arena that this will actually bring some kind of positivity to the Flyers, to the Sixers, to the Wings, things of that nature, because, we maybe it's like a new beginning. Maybe it's a new beginning for your Philadelphia Sixers because they had such a shitty season last year. And now they're like, you know what? Let's change the name of the arena and let's see what we can do. So my hope is with the name change that we see more and more successful teams go through that stadium or that arena. But yeah, I really do think it's stupid. You could have done so much more that was meaningful to the city of Philadelphia rather than the Xfinity Mobile Center. So again, Comcast has a monopoly there. They're going to do whatever they want to name it what they wish it to be. I didn't even know there was going to be what do you call it? A conversation about a name change at all. That was just news to me. Like that was not brought up on the news, WIP or anything like that. So I was lost for words when I thought it was a fake video when they showed the video like on Facebook or whatever. I was like, this is fake. So we'll see what happens.
We were actually at a Birds game. I don't know if you remember this, Dole, and we heard about the news. We were like, I don't know if you were there or I was there with Chris, I think. And I remember we were at one of the games. I forget which game it was. And we were in the Wells Fargo lot. And all of a sudden, I think it was, Dobbins. Remember Dobbins told us, he's like, they're going to change the Wells Fargo Center. They're changing the name. And we're like, what the heck? And that was pretty crazy to hear that. And I was like, what are they going to change it to? And then I know, like, I have a friend who knows, like, someone who works for, like, Xfinity. I mean, not Xfinity, but, like, works for the Wells Fargo Center. So she kind of knew what the name was, and she wouldn't tell me what it would be. So that's the sad thing. So so I never got to know what it was, but now I know what it is because it was released to the public. So, but that was like, I think like in the middle of the season though.
I was gonna say, Jack, do you live under a fucking rock or something, my man? Because I do remember this being a topic, and I remember us posting about it, and I reposted about it on. I looked at it the other day. It was like around like April 20th, same thing. But this has been up. I think August was when we first heard the news that Wells Fargo didn't want to renew, and it's sitting here, and it's like. Kind of agree with Jack. I would have just renewed Wells Fargo. I don't like Wells Fargo either. Like, to be clear on that as well. Like, I don't think that that's a groundbreaking name for a stadium in Philadelphia. Lincoln Finance, like, the Link is sick. Like, let's go to the Link. That's fucking awesome. That's really cool. But, like, when you sit there and you're like, hey, I used to say it, and I used to get made fun of by JJ Segalo. We're going to the Farg tonight. What are you saying? And
what are you saying? A Farg? What's a Farg?
The fart? What do you mean? And it's like,
I'm
no,
gonna fart.
Not that. I'm talking about Wells Fargo. So it is good to see. I think that this purple color and this look, it's definitely something more modern. And the funny thing is, all that they're doing is just putting up a new fucking sign and a new logo. But it's crazy. It really is. Because visually, when you look at it, it does look like 10 years in the future. And the only reason is a new logo. It's the same structure of the building, and they're putting purple lights on it. That's the only thing that's crazy.
But will they change the color for like every time when like a team plays? They probably will.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Just like they do right now, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the new home, well, the current home, I guess, the Xfinity home of the Philadelphia Flyers just got screwed.
He shoots, he scores! Time for slap shots with Zep. Flyers talk from 302 Birds.
So first off, a huge thank you to TickPick, as always, for sponsoring that segment. If you guys haven't, please buy your tickets from TickPick. There's still the Phillies season going on right now. That's going to be going on all summer long. And when the Eagles season comes up, you got to buy your tickets through them. There's not a better place. All in prices, no fees. But the Flyers, they got screwed in the draft. A lot of people were excited, hoping that they would be able to get the #1 pick overall. And that wasn't the case. The lottery did not fall in their favor. Looks like it's going to be a couple more years, KJ, huh?
Thanks a lot, Matt Bear. The Islanders got the freaking first pick. Oh, man, he was jumping for joy and jumping in crap. That's what he was doing. he was going crazy for it. But yeah, the Flyers got screwed, unfortunately, and it just sucks because I mean, this team deserved to be like a top 3 pick, and they just once again the ping pong ball just didn't go their way, and it is what it is. And maybe the ping pong ball will go our way for the Sixers. We'll see. Cooper Flag.
Yeah, and the Flyers draft number 6 overall now, but it is really crazy of what a difference 6 picks can make. I think the biggest thing for the Flyers is they are just looking at years of mediocrity, and it was also kind of a double screwing in one night because I forget the name, the Calder Award, I believe it is. I don't watch a ton of hockey, but it's basically the rookie of the year for hockey, if I'm not mistaken. And Matvei Mishkov wasn't even considered in the finalists. So he's going to have a real chip on his shoulder next year. He's going to be, I think, upset about that because he should have been. He had a great rookie year. He really stepped up to the plate, and I think he was the only bright spot, arguably, of this Flyers team throughout this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really follow hockey that much. We still have the 6th overall pick, which is good. We just got to figure out who we're going to use for our head coach because we don't have a head coach right now. So that's kind of my main issue right now. Who's going to be the head coach right now? Because Tortorella, even though people hated him, I think he kind of lit a fire under the players' asses. So hopefully, we have a better season. I have an agreement with my buddy Brandon's brother, that the next 3 years the Flyers will win the Stanley Cup. So hopefully we're on track for that. We'll see. But that's all I got to say about this.
Do you guys, in your opinion, this is an interesting question too, just open for the table. I'll go ahead and answer it first, and then, like I said, open table. Do you guys not like the lottery format when it comes to drafts? Because there's 2 sides to the coin, right? There's the one side where it's like, hey, it makes it fair so that teams can't tank. But then on the flip side as well, it's like a team like the Flyers can continuously get screwed because the lottery, just because luck doesn't fall their way. I'll say this. I like it. I think it's a good thing because if anything, it discourages teams to tank because it's just like, okay, we don't need to be the worst team in the league. We're already in the top 3 worst teams. Like, it doesn't really make a difference, that 1 overall pick. We're just going to leave it up to fate. And I feel like that's how the sport should be played, in my opinion. So I think the lottery is actually a smart thing, but I could see why people would be dissuaded to it.
Here's my opinion on this. I think you get rid of the lottery draft. I think you should have like a small miniature tournament that the winner, like the top 3 teams, they get the top 3 picks. I think it's just more even that way. And I don't know when you would work that into a schedule, but I think that would be a cool thing for both basketball and for both hockey too. Because you're right. Like, I think it's smart at the same time to have a lottery pick because you don't want teams to tank continuously throughout their years to hopefully get that lottery pick. So I think it'd be cool to do like a little tournament style, like a round robin, the worst 10 teams or whatever, and then do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I really don't know how the NHL draft lottery even works. I know how the NBA draft lottery works. They kind of changed it, but honestly, I do kind of miss the whole tanking thing. I mean, I do miss it. I mean, I think honestly, if you are the worst team, you should probably have the best odds to get the first pick. I mean, that's how it should be, to be honest. But I mean, they're trying to change it up. They're trying to give teams some better percentages to get the first pick, even though they might not even deserve it. So, yeah, they're trying to switch things up for sure. Because in the past, like, tanking really just wasn't what the leagues really wanted. So, I mean, we kind of saw that with the NBA. So, I get why they're doing it, though. I get it.
Joe?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how either of the lotteries work at all. I do not know how they work whatsoever. But what I do know is how the NFL draft works. And I think that that's what every major sport, like, that's how they need to do it. Because it emphasizes if you're the worst team, you're going to get the best pick. But if you're the best team, you're nowhere near the best pick. And I want to know how teams that were worse, better than us, like the New York Islanders and the Utah Mammoths now.
Yep.
I believe it was them. How did they just jump over us? Oh, crap. Sorry, my camera fell. But how did they just jump over us in line? Like, what? That's not, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, when I saw that yesterday, I was like, so we got screwed out of at least a top 4 draft pick because of 2 teams that probably don't even deserve a top 5 draft pick because they had better records than anybody else in the top 5. But it's like, if we just did it like whoever wins the Stanley Cup, you're last. Whoever's runner-up, you're second. Like, if we did it like that, it would keep teams like the Flyers, who have been kind of crappy over the last couple years, it would kind of give them a little bit more, I feel like, as to like, they could get a little bit better players. They could kind of develop those better players. And in 2 to 3 years, instead of saying 2 to 3 years every year, an actual 2 years, they would be a good team. And then it'd be like, okay, so now whoever was good 2 to 3 years ago has all their players retired or something. Well, now they're the crappy team. And now they get the first pick. And like, you see in the NFL how one year, like, the Titans pick first this year. I can guarantee you they're not picking first next year. But with the lotteries and stuff like that, I feel like there's a lot better chance that it's the same kind of, I'm not like quite sure, but I feel like it's the same teams I see every year at the front of the line. And it's like, well, yeah, they stink, but you're not the worst, and there's teams that need it more than you, I think. But that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of people like that idea too. With the creativity, I know up for debate here in the comments saying it's good ideas. Stay tuned. But we always get a little bit too early on this podcast. That's what we're known for. And this is one I started to think about the other day when I saw an Instagram post that prompted me thinking Saquon Barkley had such a monumental, memorable season in 2025. It was really one for the books. One that I think looking back on, we'll look back and say, hey, will any Eagles running back, will any NFL running back in the modern era ever be able to replicate that? Because he was very close to breaking Dickerson's record, and it wasn't his decision, it was the franchise's. So I'll say this. I don't think that he will come close to doing that next year. And that's not a bad thing. I think that the Eagles are going to find a way to incorporate another running back into this system. I don't know who that's going to be yet. I hope it's Will Shipley. Will Shipley kind of turned it on in one of those playoff games towards the end. He had that touchdown, and he's more than capable. But I think that Barkley won't break 2,000 yards. I could be wrong on that. I do think Barkley will still break 1,500, which is going to be a lot. I just think that Barkley's going to have games where he'll have a 120-yard game, he'll have a 200-yard game, and then there will be a game where he has 40 or 50 yards. And that's okay. That's all right. Like, it's overall going to balance out, and I think Barkley's still going to have a great year. And the main goal for Barkley, guys, is he's not a selfish player. Like, he could not care if he wins MVP or Offensive Player of the Year, this or that. What he's worried about is another Lombardi trophy. He's a legacy guy, and I love that. Sidney Brown, on the flip side, my expectations for him, I'd like to see him come into his own and really develop as that starting safety, the strong safety. The free safety. Reed would be our strong safety. But I kind of want to see him start to come alive in the ball hawking ability. We remember the pick 6 that he had against the Arizona Cardinals a couple of years ago. Show me more plays like that. If you get a couple plays like that, a play like that in the first 4 weeks of the season, you're going to end up starting on this team. You're going to have eyes on you. People are going to realize that you are a professional. You are good at what you do. So I really think Sidney Brown and the other safety that they ended up taking in Andrew Makuba are going to have one of the most interesting position battles for who's going to be that second safety on this Eagles roster. I actually would have to go back to Fitz's question earlier. I didn't even think about this. This, my friends, might be the most interesting storyline of the offseason, is what Eagles safety comes into their own as that second safety.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of expectations for sure. I know a lot of people are really kind of sleeping on Saquon. They don't think he's going to have that 2,000-yard season again. I think he is. I actually think he is. And I mean, call me crazy, but I think he's going to even go the freak off. I think he's going to even have a better statistical season than he had last season. I just think he's going to pop off. I really do. And I think winning the Super Bowl is just also just fueled a fire in him that he just wants to go off. Obviously, he's an unselfish teammate, and that's what we love about him. But I think he's just going to not even notice that he's getting this record, and he's gonna hit the record. And I think Eric Dickerson's going to be really he's gonna be really pissed off, obviously. But I think Saquon's gonna beat it. I actually do. I think he's gonna have an insane season. And I mean, just from what I saw, I mean, I went to all the Eagles home games, and from what I saw, I mean, I saw the run that happened against the Rams. I saw the hurdle, the backwards hurdle against the Jaguars. This is the best Eagles running back I've ever seen, and it's not even close. It's insane. And I just think sky's the limit with this guy as long as he stays healthy. And that's the main thing. I remember there was Giants fans going at us telling us, "Oh, we'll have fun with Saquon. He's not gonna stay healthy. He gets hurt all the time." Did he get hurt this season? No. He didn't get hurt, and he got a freaking Super Bowl. So that's the main thing with Saquon. If he stays healthy, I think he's going to be fine, which I do think with our offensive line, and we built our offensive line as well in the draft, I think we're going to be fine. I think that offensive line will be able to protect Saquon, and Saquon will have another career year, I think a historical year for the Birds. So mark that down. I believe in Saquon for beating Eric Dickerson's record.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the sky's the limit for him for sure. But you know, it's like golf. You don't play golf for quite some time, and then you go out there and you strike the ball down the middle, right? So that's kind of where I'm going with this, because Saquon Barkley was on a new team last year. We won the Super Bowl, things of that nature, right? I think he's not going to have another breakout season. I think, yeah, I agree with Dalton. Like 1,500 yards will be suffice. But yeah, I think it's kind of starts with the rookies. I mean, our expectations for these rookies are high. We just came off a Super Bowl. We drafted these guys just to to add more bodies to our team. So I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a good year. It's not going to be a breakout season, but I think Will Shipley has to step it up. The O-line has to step it up. Jalen Hurts step it up. The defense has to step it up. We have a lot of missing pieces on this defense that we just signed in the offseason or during the draft. And I think, we'll be fine. I think we'll be a playoff team, Super Bowl contender. I kind of need to see the full season. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Sidney Brown kind of go head to head with Makuba and see what we can do for this secondary. So that's kind of where I'm at with this team. I think Saquon Barkley will be fine, but I'm excited to see what AJ Brown can do. Devontae Smith, our O-line. I mean, this is his Cam Jurgens' second season starting center, so I have high expectations for him because he had a great season this past season. So I'm expecting more. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I need Jordan Davis to step it up.
Yeah, definitely. Jordan Davis definitely needs to show us something this season, or Jordan Davis is getting traded on draft night next year. But anyway, Saquon Barkley, he's gonna do this. He's gonna do his thing next year. Like as long as he stays healthy, which he actually has an offensive line that can block in front of him. So I feel like was a big part of just him staying healthy in general last year. So he probably won't obviously have the same exact type of season, just because the Super Bowl did show us one thing. You can shut him down, but you can't shut the offense down as a whole. So even if they got to abandon the run a couple games, I think they'll be okay. Obviously, don't do that all season because we've seen that in the past, and that just leads to nothing but bad things. But Saquon, he's probably between 1,500 and 1,700 yards rushing, plus, 250 to 500 receiving. He'll have a good enough season. Might even win Offensive Player of the Year. Who knows? But yeah, my biggest thing is Dennis. You've been telling us for 2 years now about this guy, Sidney Brown, and how good he is. And I liked what I saw against the Cowboys. It wasn't even like, I don't even think he was tackling the right guy, but they were like mixing over there in the sidelines, and man, was he giving him the business. And like, I like that. I like the physicality and everything he plays with, but he's got to improve his coverage a little bit. And I think if he could do that, he could be 21. That's Eric Allen. I think we could have a new 21 possibly if Sidney Brown can really like show us that he can cover, and because we know he can hit. I'll be honest with you. We know he can hit, and he can hit you hard. And yeah, he's got great ball hawking abilities, but he's got to be able to cover. He's got to be able to stay with the receiver. He's got to be able to do what he needs to do on the back end to make those good hits and those good interceptions and stuff like that. That's what I think made like CJGJ so good. He was such a great coverage safety that even when it looked like Quinyon was going to pick it off, there's CJGJ right there taking it instead. Like, yeah, there was a couple times where he shouldn't have done it, but whatever.
Like 3 times is crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely robbed him of a few. Maybe that's why they got rid of him. They're like, yeah, taking too many interceptions away from your teammates.
Yeah.
But no, it's Sidney Brown. I think he could step it up, and I think he could really be a solid starter at safety for us. And then just offensively, I think Dallas Goedert is going to have an insane year. And I think it's going to work out for both sides here. So Dallas Goedert is going to play his heart off because he wants more money. And he thinks we're going to give it to him. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going to. I really don't. No matter what he does this season, I don't think he's going to get paid by us. But I think if he goes out there and plays his heart off like he can, the Eagles could either trade him, like franchise tag, trade him, or he's just going to go sign with somebody else. And it's going to suck, but he's a really good player when he's healthy. And unfortunately, George Kittle, you set the market way too high for tight ends now. And if he has anywhere over like 10 receiving touchdowns and 750 yards, he's going to want a bag. And I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to I don't think the Eagles will be able to keep up with that. But I think Dallas Goedert will have a big year. And if he can have a big year, repeat might be a little less of a far out there word.
Yeah. So getting ready to move on now to our next segment. We actually have an expert in the house for our last segment of the night. This was pretty funny. So Jason Kelce is an average Joe, just like the rest of us, and tends to go to Reddit for
help. Something happened with Dole. I don't know what happened there.
You're doing great.
He's back. All right, he's back.
Yeah, it's just a tech nightmare tonight.
Cool.
Don't even listen to this episode. I'm not kidding. Jesus. Anyway, I don't even know how the fuck that happened. My hand was on the mouse. But the point is, while our golf instructor is getting ready, is that Jason Kelce's an average Joe. He's just like the rest of us. And he has gone to Reddit looking for help with his golf swing. My favorite part about all of this, if you look closely at some of these, every Philadelphia Eagles fan feels the need to say, firstly, longtime Birds fan here, love you, my dude. Or, hey, Jason, big Eagles fan, thank you for everything. Thanks for the memories. Like, all the Eagles fans feel inclined to just let him know that they're a Birds fan, which cracks me up. But it was actually him. Let's go ahead and check out the video of Jason Kelce's swing, and we can go ahead and judge it for ourselves.
It's not a good one.
Slow it down a little bit of slow-mo action here. You don't got to kill it, Jason. Jesus. So I told you guys, I brought the guy who drinks transfusion juice all the time with that golf shirt.
Yeah, pro Jack standing in right now. You know, Jason Kelce, I love you. You're a great player. But one thing that I took from your swing is, first off, you need to slow it down, because all about golf is, you know, you're not trying to kill the ball. You're trying to get a nice smooth swing, and it will go far. Another thing I noticed is, I don't know if you can see. I'll try to back up. You can't see me. Let's see this. There we go. So he brought it wide, right? He has to bring it straight up and straight through. And his feet placement, if you can see my feet. I don't know what's going on. But they were very, very close knit. They needed to be shorter width apart. You got to line the ball up with the front of your foot. So I'm a lefty. It's my right foot. It'll be his left foot. And then he needs to just, when he swings back, keep his front foot down. He brought it back like this. You got to keep it down flat and just keep your head down, because he kept picking his head up. You can't do that, Jason. You cannot do that, Jason. You got to keep your head down. Keep your head down. Swing
Keep it down.
And that's how your shot will be fixed. That is Jackson Dordan 101 golf.
Jason, the good news is you don't have to pay for that. You could just pay us back by coming on the show and paying a guest appearance. We would accept that as a currency. But yeah, that's all free right there, brother. You don't got to pay a dime for that nugget of knowledge. Coach, do you think he's killing the ball with this swing too? Like, does he need to take it a little bit easier? Someone who's playing golf every day for his whole life?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Dalton, I play golf with you a lot. You're just like him. You try to crush the ball. You try to swing out of your shoes, right? You can't do that in golf. You got to keep it flat. I've always told you this, Dalton. Remember, say Ernie Els. Ernie L is the perfect momentum you need. Ernie Els. That's the perfect two-syllable word that you need. He's a great golfer, and he needs to slow down his swing, because he tried to crush that. And, you know, people think when you have a small white ball in front of you that you can crush the ball by swinging as hard as you can. That's not how golf works. You got to be slow, consistent, and play smooth. Play it smoothly.
Yeah. Well said. Well, thanks, Ernie Els over there. I appreciate the hell out of you. And yeah, KJ's got the Eagles golf ball. But
yes, I do.
That's all we got for you guys tonight on the show. I know we're going to keep it a little bit brief just because I wanted to try and keep it under an hour. And I also promised some people that we would have a meeting at 9 o'clock. So I want to go get ready for that. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It was another great show this week. We will be back next Wednesday for you guys. Also got the Phillies post-game shows. We got Sippin' Sports on Saturday. And also appreciate your input on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. But Jack, do you want to go ahead and take us out of here, my man?
Yes. Without further ado,
where's Zepp at?
Zepp is not here, actually. He is on a plane to Florida. I just came back from Florida. He's going to Florida. So without further ado, hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
What we got? 302BIRDS. You know, stinks. Go Birds. Oh my gosh, chat.
Your favorite Chicagoan. Go Phils.
As always, God bless. Go Birds.